breaking news.
Tonight, a search and rescue mission on the San Francisco Bay becoming increasingly dire. Multiple people are still missing after a boat capsized this afternoon. Thank you for joining us for KRON 4 News at 10. I'm Dan Thorne. 20 people were on board that boat when it took on some water. One person has been confirmed dead. 3 people were injured. 3 others still missing tonight. And right now, crews are working in the air and the water to find them. We have live team coverage of this deadly boat accident tonight. KRON 4's Amanda Harry live with the reaction from people who were on the water and along the shore. Meteorologist Gail Ong tracking the conditions out there on the bay, but we want to get right to KRON 4's Sarah Stinson, who's going to bring us up to speed on what happened and the very latest on the search tonight. Sarah.
Dan, nearly 7 hours into the search for these 3 missing people on the bay, and rescue crews say they are not giving up anytime soon. The San Francisco Fire Department, along with the U.S. Coast Guard, say they plan to search into the night. Right now, we are seeing them in the distance, flashing lights on the bay with their boats, flashing lights in the sky with their helicopters. A day on the bay with family ended in tragedy off the coast of San Francisco near Alcatraz.
There was some kind of memorial service that they were engaging in. That's why they were using this particular vessel. And again, they were hit by a wave or took on water, and the boat capsized.
A triple-decker cabin cruiser boat started to sink around 3:30 Tuesday afternoon with 20 people on board.
Yeah, look, this is an extremely tragic situation. Obviously, this is, a relatively large family or group of family friends.
The police department marine unit was the first on scene. When they arrived to the 50-foot boat, only the top level was above water. The rest was submerged.
Some people were in the water, some people were on the boat, some people were just falling into the water.
Fire Chief Dean Crispin says one person was severely injured. As they were trying to take the person to the hospital, they died from their injuries at Fort Mason. 16 people were successfully rescued and brought ashore. 3 of them were injured and taken to the hospital.
Impact injuries from falling as they fell into the water and are currently in stable condition, expected to be released this evening.
A massive search and rescue effort began for 3 missing people. Several agencies assisted the San Francisco Fire Department, launching 11 boats, helicopters, and divers.
So this time of day, this time of year in San Francisco, there's going to be white caps on the water, so it is very challenging for our members to conduct this rescue.
The U.S. Coast Guard is also helping the search into the night with crews scouring the waters.
We have modeling software that predicts the location of where our missing mariners could be. We use that very strictly in where to provide assets, and throughout the night we will have surface and air assets providing coverage.
There were some conflicting initial reports about a fire on board. The fire chief says there's no evidence of that so far. No children were on board, but a dog died in the accident. Mayor Daniel Lurie was briefed at the scene and met with some of the survivors.
I want to express my condolences to the family members of the deceased, and I want to make sure that every family member out there and everybody knows that we are in an active search.
For the day, Fort Mason has really become the home base for rescue crews. There's also a family reunification center for survivors, and I'm told if anyone believes that they have family members that were on this boat, they're asked to call 1-800 Red Cross. Now, Dan, I'm told that the fire department plans on giving the next update around 6 a.m. Wednesday. So I'm sure a lot of people will be expecting to hear what they found or didn't find overnight and what they were up against. Definitely an intense and challenging search now that it's dark. Back to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Our breaking news coverage continues now with KRON 4's Amanda Harry. She's been getting reaction from people in the area to this boating disaster. Amanda, what are they saying?
Everyone we spoke to says this situation is just incredibly sad. They were shocked to hear what happened, shocked to see the amount of emergency response that was here all afternoon and continues to be here, and that they are really worried and heartbroken for those 3 victims that are still potentially in the water.
It's just really tragic.
That was Attila Chenetez's reaction as he looked at all the police cars, fire trucks, and boats in the water. He says the ocean is powerful and it can be difficult to navigate.
I hope, whatever the outcome is, I hope they can find the other people lost in the sea.
Another man says he rides his bike past this area every day and it's the first time he's seen a response like this.
Super scary. I've never heard of anything like that over here. We go out on party boats and stuff like that all the time.
Ryan Everton was on the water around the time it happened, wing foiling. He says he didn't see the boat, but he saw the emergency response.
I saw a lot of helicopters and a lot of patrol boats. It was a bit freaky being out there wing foiling. It was a pretty rough day. Like, it was one of the biggest surfs and wakes I've seen out on the bay before.
Everton has spent a lot of time on the water. He says the winds on Tuesday were a challenge.
I think it was a pretty rough day. Like, I sail and I wouldn't have taken a boat out today. I think it could have got up to 27 knots out there at point blank, which is quite rough. Even to go out surfing, it's pretty rough. It's really sad that there's that many people were on it and they went out today.
Right now, that search is continuing for those 3 people. Firefighters say they will stay out here as long as it's safe to do so. We've watched as people have come by and looked out into the water, wondering what happened, asking us what happened, and continuing to say that they just feel so sad that something like this happened so close to their homes and somewhere they frequent all the time. Live in San Francisco, Amanda Harry, KRON 4 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you. Meteorologist Gail Ong standing by now with more on the conditions out there on the water. Gail, anything unusual out there?
Well, there were no small craft advisories issued for inside the bay at the time of this incident, but of course, outside the bay, the waters, the ocean could be choppy, and the bay as well. Let's look at current conditions with the wave heights. As you can see, it's about 1 to 2 feet out there. Inside the bay, we're about 1 feet near Alcatraz, and the temperatures. Want to talk about the temperatures because that's going to impact the first responders of what they're going to be dealing with some chilly waters tonight. As current sea surface temperatures 66 degrees, so that is considered cool for people who are not used to being in that chilly bay waters too long. So we also have the winds to contend with. So as you can see, we're at 15 to 14 miles per hour over by San Francisco and the Golden Gate. We're a little breezy in the North Bay Hills, so a lot of that's funneling through the Golden Gate. Winds are calm at the surface for Oakland around the bay. So we'll be talking about the winds coming up in my full forecast, and with those winds, fire danger. So look at this fire weather model as I take you through Wednesday afternoon. The map lights up in yellow and oranges, so we're going to be talking about some fire danger mixed with the hot temperatures. The heat advisory has expired for the day, but we still got dry conditions and gusty winds for the next day or 2.